To every listener, to every soul who hears and connects with these words, thank you for taking a moment for yourself. Thank you for pausing, even if only briefly, in the midst of the noise, the rush, and everything that constantly pulls us outward. Because it's not so easy to stop. It's not so easy to truly listen. And yet, there is something within us that deeply needs it. This space is not meant to convince, impose, or point to a single path. It comes from something much simpler and at the same time much deeper. A need to reconnect with life itself, the life that passes by and seems to slip away without us even noticing. To open ourselves to the eternal, to open ourselves to His Torah, but also to open ourselves inward to that truth that moves through the soul and makes us more aware. We are not seeking perfection. We are not seeking empty religiosity. We are seeking connection. We are seeking meaning. We are seeking remembrance. To remember that we are more than what we appear to be, that there is a spark within us that never goes out, even if we sometimes cover it with routine, fear, or forgetfulness. And if these words manage to accompany you, even just a little, if they awaken something, if they bring you closer, if they help you look inward with greater honesty, then they have already fulfilled their purpose. Because drawing closer to ourselves is important, but being able to serve as a bridge for someone else, that too is part of the Eternal's will in this world. We are passing through, we are learning, we are on a journey. And perhaps if we walk with more awareness, with more soul, the end will not feel like a loss, but like a return. So please stay a bit, listen, allow yourself to be here, because perhaps this is not only a beginning, but also an encounter. The reunion. Waking up under the weight of the week and feeling consumed by routine is not a spiritual emptiness. It is a prelude to a collision. Jewish identity is not a state of idyllic peace. It's a constant struggle. The sages teach that when we stood at the foot of Sinai, the Eternal held the mountain over our heads. The Midrash explains that this was not a threat, but a moment of absolute reality. Either we accept our mission or that would become our bullier place. That collision is what we live today. In every corner of the house we clean, in every hour of sleep we sacrifice for Passover. The Sfat Emet is radical. Freedom was not given to us so we could rest, but so we could serve. The effort of preparation is our response to Naaseh v'Nishma. We will do and we will hear. We do not first understand and then act. We act. We sweat because we work. We clean. And through that physical effort, the understanding of who we are strikes us like lightning. As the Maharal of Prague explains, at Sinai, we became a spiritual entity that can no longer return to being enslaved by inertia. That is why when exhaustion whispers to you to let things slide, what you are really hearing is the voice of Egypt trying to cancel the covenant of Sinai. Parashat Tzav reminds us that the Kohen would soil himself with ashes before dressing in glory. There is no holiness without prior work of the hands. Rav Soloveitchik described the man of faith as someone who lives in creative tension. That is exactly our identity. We are the people who walk through the desert with wounded feet, but with our eyes fixed on the pillar of fire. If the process does not demand something from you, if it does not challenge your pride and your comfort, then you are not at Sinai. You are sitting on the couch of indifference. This is our generational engine and our connection to Israel. Today, while our brothers and sisters hold the torch in the Holy Land under immense pressure, we hold ours here through this process of preparation. We are not observers, we are part of the same body that tremble at the voice of the Eternal. Being grateful for the miracles we witness today is our way of saying, "Here I am." On the same historical map, the essence of this journey back is understanding that freedom is a responsibility that must be worked for. Sitting at the Seder table is not the end of a domestic task. It is the eruption of our reclaimed freedom. When we leave behind our work clothes and dress up in celebration, we perform the greatest act of rebellion, declaring that beyond any exhaustion, any doubt about our origins, or any pain we carry for our people, we are children of the King. The Seder is the moment when linear time stops at Sinai and becomes present in your living room. We are not reading a script, we are standing before our own soul. Every cup of wine we raise is not a toast, is a fuel for an identity that reignites. The Maharal of Prague taught that matzah is the bread of freedom, precisely because of its simplicity. It has no inflated ego, but represents the pure essence of a being that needs no embellishment to stand before the Eternal. At every step of the Seder, from Kadesh to Nirsa, we are exercising the responsibility of memory. We do not remember to know what happened. We remember to know who we are today. If the world could glimpse our table for a moment, they would see that we are not consuming history. We are drinking eternity. They would see that a Jew at the Seder table is someone who has overcome the inertia of the universe. This is our response to the call of Sinai. Identity is not something passively received. It is something claimed in every action, in every word of Torah we share. The sages teach that in every generation, a person must see themselves as if they personally left Egypt. That is the key to our survival. Our connection to our brothers and sisters in Israel, to those who came before us and those who will come after us, is made real at that table. We are the guardians of a flame that does not depend on genetics, but on the will not to let the fire go out. The reunion is complete. After the effort, after the collision with our own laziness and doubts, we arrive at the place where the soul finally rests. Not a rest of inactivity, but the peace of someone who knows they are exactly where they are meant to be, fulfilling the covenant sealed at the beginning of time. At the end of the Seder, when we say next year in Jerusalem, we are not only expressing a geographical hope, we are making a promise of coherence, that we will continue to be people who choose their destiny, who fight for their freedom, and who find in the word of the Eternal their only true home. Chag Pesach kasher v'sameach v'Shabbat shalom.